Hello everybody, Mr.Catface here, and this may be the stupidest video I've ever made, or will ever make for that matter. Earlier this week, I was looking for a villain render from Scooby-Doo. I was working on my Scooby-Doo card game, as I do, and I needed a render of a very specific character. It's a Lavender Blob monster, who's only ever used in promotional material. A very specific character, and I could not find a render of it. In my searches, I ended up on DeviantArt, trying to find if someone had posted a render of it. And I came across this. It's a ranking of 15 episodes from Pup Named Scooby-Doo. To the non-obsessed person, this made me nothing. But to someone who is very, how do I put this eloquently? To someone of my knowledge of the series, this is a very interesting picture, and I'll tell you why. Pup Named Scooby-Doo had a really good first season, and then they changed hands. I believe is because Spielberg was making Animaniacs, and the team that made Pup Named Scooby-Doo moved to Animaniacs. Either way, the team that made the first season so special left, and seasons 2 through 4, which I just call season 2, is not very good. There's a couple good episodes in there, but it's not overall good. So when I see this right here, and this ranking has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 15 be season 1. And the other 9 be from the rest of the series, I start to think, who the heck is this guy? So that brought me to a little DeviantArt page called CyberEman2099. And I went down a rabbit hole, and I'm going to share my journey with you guys. But before I go any further, I want to clarify something real quick. CyberEman2099, I love you. Your page is great. I've had so much fun going through your stuff. You're great. You're still posting stuff. You're having a great time. You're a cool dude. I like you a lot. However, your page is very funny, and I'm going to keep talking about it. So I'm going to split this into 2 sections. I'm going to talk about my journey going through this page, and then I'm going to go through some villain rankings he did, and judging his opinions. So, right off the bat, he already has interesting opinions here. Very interesting. Then I found this. Is his top 10, well, 12 What's New Scooby-Doo episodes, which isn't too interesting on its own. Because most What's New Scooby-Doo episodes are all very similar quality. I'd say just about every What's New Scooby-Doo episode's like an 8 out of 10. They're all pretty good. However, he included a bottom 3, which I thought was very interesting. Because, these episodes up here, they're all great. I mean, they're not my personal favorite. Ozymandias, yeah, that's not my personal favorite episode, but most of these are really good. These 3 I found very interesting. So I was like, huh. I remember, this is before I went on this page. I just saw the Pup Named Scooby-Doo and immediately jumped to this because it was in the recommended on the side here. So I see that he actually just tells you in the description why he ranks stuff. What's going on over here? So I went down to see if he talked about this, and he does. He talks about he doesn't really like the motive of the third one. He thinks that the villain gets off scot-free in this one, which is true. Those are both true. I don't really see it as a reason to dislike the episode. What's New Scooby-Doo has a lot of villains who don't really make sense. But then I read his reason for not liking Homeward Hound, and I'm going to read it to you. The most respectful way I could describe how much I dislike this episode is that if I ever do a binge party of What's New Scooby-Doo, this is the only episode I will willingly skip over and do not miss one bit. The episode's story on paper may not be all that bad. I don't know why I'm highlighting, it's getting in my way. But it makes it bad for me is the culmination of the mystery by the end, and who they picked as the culprit with Meadow, who was an old friend of Shaggy's. Meadow is probably both the best thing and the worst thing about the episode, in the sense that she was such a cool and sweet character when we meet her, but then immediately gets tarnished along with her friendship with Shaggy by making her the cat creature and the conspirator behind the puppy napping Secret Six. And never is Shaggy and her's friendship ever addressed beyond this episode. Even beyond that, that cat creature is not a very captivating villain. I wasn't a fan of Impossible Scooby and the Dog Show setting in the introductory of Mr. B, based on Joseph Barbera, and the Secret Six, who get better episodes after this. It's wasted on an episode that by the end makes me feel unpleasant at the implications of the ending. The ends with the ending. And what's even more upsetting is that Meadow never appears again, whereas insignificant characters like Gibby Norton appear more than once, and that could have forgiven this episode by having her redeem herself and have Shaggy forgive his old friend. This episode is the reason why I made my version of Meadow the way I did in his series, Redemption, Desperate Need. For as much as I love the rest of the show, this episode I've ever made is the one episode that I personally don't like, is my personal worst episode of What's New Scooby-Doo. This right here, this paragraph, this is pure comedy. I love this. There is so much of this paragraph that is, I could pick apart, it's so funny. I think one of my favorite parts is that he says that Meadow never appears, but insignificant characters like Gibby appear more often. But, like, Gibby has 3 episodes and Meadow has 1. Therefore, Gibby is more significant than Meadow because he has 3 episodes. Which, by the way, he's the villain in all 3 episodes. That's not a joke. Gibby Norton appears, he's the villain. Which makes him so funny. I love Gibby Norton. But the whole thing is that she's Shaggy's friend, who we never met before, and she's the villain by the end. Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's true. But he doesn't like that, and that's why he hates the episode. Not hates the episode. He just says that the person doesn't like it. He just doesn't like that Meadow is the bad guy, despite the fact that was like the point was that despite the fact that she was Shaggy's friend, she was putting her selfish desires over her friendship with Shaggy, even willing to kidnap Scooby for it. Yeah, that was explained in the episode, but she doesn't like that. I said it's rather he. I'm guessing it's a he. I have no idea who this person is. CyberEman. I'm assuming this is a 12-year-old who's on DeviantArt. I don't know though. I cannot gauge how old this person is because this is more eloquently written than what I think a 12-year-old should be capable of. However, I don't know. So I read this and I was dying of laughter. I'm like, this is the greatest thing of all time. But this guy clearly does not have very good opinions. But then I found this. And I saw he ranked Mr. Incorporated as 7th, below the Scooby and Scrappy show, Scooby-Doo Guess Who, and Be Cool Scooby-Doo. And I suddenly gained a lot more respect for this guy. That is incredibly based. I'll just put it out right now. I do not dislike Mr. Incorporated, but it is definitely not my favorite Scooby-Doo show. Though I will say that these 2 right here are my 2 least... Well, ignoring this down here. We're just going to ignore this down here. These 2 are my least favorite Scooby-Doo shows. Right here. And when we get to the villain ranking, these 2 shows are going to get the bottom of the barrel because I just could not care less about them. When I saw this, I was like, I gotta go to this guy's page and figure out who the heck this guy is. He praises Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, and then craps on Mr. Incorporated. Who is this guy? So after seeing this masterpiece, I had to go on this guy's page and figure out who he was. So then I first stumbled upon CyberEman2099. And the first thing I saw when I went on his page was this. So I knew I was in for a good time. The second thing I noticed when I went on his page 5,751. This guy, this could be his job for all I know. And then I noticed all of this. Those are just his folders. I didn't even go through all of them. So I started scrolling through this 576 pages to see what this guy was up to. And clearly he's making... Wait, I just noticed something. Wait. Wait. So, remember I showed you this earlier? I was like, oh, this is the first thing I saw. I noticed the next panel in that comic. The villain is a mummy. So I think the clue is the toilet paper is gone because she used it for her mummy costume. Dude, Agatha Christie, she knew nothing compared to CyberEman2099. This is the greatest mystery of all time. Oh my gosh. So I didn't go through all 576 pages. I went through a lot, but I did not go through all. I actually, believe it or not, I have a job and I go to college. So I do not have time to go through all this. But I was scrolling through it and be like, this guy, regardless of anything else, clearly is loving what he's doing, which I respect. I think this guy is super cool because he's doing what he loves. Well, do I think he's super cool because of this? That's debatable. But I love that he's doing what he likes to do. Yeah, I respect this guy. Mostly. So getting to the actual point of this video, besides just clowning on this Chad, is I saw this. He has 13 villain rankings, where he ranks different types of villains from best to worst. And I was like, what makes you qualified? Just because you watch the shows? That's fair enough. Actually, that does make you qualified. But I'm the Scooby-Doo guy. So I'm going to do it. I downloaded all 13 of these pictures and put them into Google Slides. I tried not to pay attention to the rankings. I just kind of plopped them into Google Slides. And I was like, I'll rank them on my own later. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going through, I have them right here. We are. Here's his first one. I want it from his first one to his latest one. And I'm going to see if this guy is spitting or if this guy is not. And based on his earlier Pup Named Scooby-Doo opinions, I think we know the answer to that. Hey, real quick, I don't explain this in the video, but the way the pictures work is that the character in the top left is his favorite one, and the one in the bottom right is his least favorite. I, however, will just be drawing the numbers on, just to make things simple. Okay, let's get back into it. So, first things first, these are vampires. I'm sorry if the title gets cut off, but I don't care. And so let's see here. First things first, this one gets 6th place. I do not care about the Scrappy-Doo show. 5th place, however, it gets a little trickier. This episode is obviously a lot more iconic. I assume you guys can see my mouse while I'm in drawing mode. I assume. This episode is clearly more iconic than the rest of them. However, I'm going to give him 5th. He doesn't do much in the episode. I do love when he's walking forward with his arms out trying to push them into the hole. That's the funniest crap in the whole world to me. So I'll give him more points than whatever this creature is. Number 4, though. As much as I don't really care about the Fortescue vampire, I care about the she vampire even less. So I guess I'll give her 4th, him 3rd, and the rest is obvious. Easy 2nd, and this is clearly number 1. Gramps the Vamp is the best vampire in Scooby. That episode is so good. It is probably one of my all-time favorites from the Scooby-Doo show. So clearly gets number 1. And while I wouldn't have as much respect for the random vampire from Be Cool Scooby-Doo, that's a pretty solid episode overall. And he is a pretty funny villain. So I'll give him 2nd. And then next we have clowns. Now, first things first, there's 7, so you're going at 7th, and you're going at 6th. I don't remember if I've seen these episodes, because I watched Scooby-Doo and Scrappy show so long ago, and I refused to watch it again. It was a terrible experience, and I could not care less about Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, like I said earlier. The remaining five, though, now this gets a little trickier. I think number five, it actually might be Zombo. I actually might be going in order of this guy. He might actually be spitting with this one. Because yeah, I'll put him at five because I don't really care for Crybaby Clown either, but at least Crybaby Clown is a little unique. The stupid Mark Hamill clan who gets 2 episodes of Mystery Incorporated, 2-part episode. And that out of all the villains, that's the one. Crybaby Clown, yeah, whatever. I don't really care too much about either of them, but like these two, I literally could not care less about. These two, I care a little bit about. And then easy number 3 is Madcap. It's a good episode. It's a pretty good episode because Scooby-Doo. And then these two are obviously the top 2, but I'll put Menacing Metallic Clown number 2. That's a great episode, but like, it's not my absolute favorite What's New Scooby-Doo episode. It's pretty good. And in fact, it would normally get number 1 if the Ghost Clown from Where Are You wasn't just so incredibly iconic. This design is the perfect Ghost Clown design. It is creepy. This is one of the creepier episodes of the original show. It's just a lot really well done with the clown here. Very close number 2. Not as close number 3, then these guys are all much lower down. Alright, so he was kind of spitting early on. We kind of got our number 1s flipped around, but he was kind of spitting at this one. And this one, what am I even looking at here? Okay, first of all, number 6. Let's just get out of the way. Number 6. Number 5 is obviously the Ghost of Witch McCoy. That episode is not very good. I don't care for it, and neither is honestly the Switcher Witch. Neither of these episodes are very good, and they both come from the same show. They both have this witch episode that's not very good. However, I definitely like Melissa Wilcox more than I like Witch McCoy because of the colors. I think the bright green and the pink is purple stand out a lot more than this drab design. Then this is the Mystery Incorporated Baba Yaga, and this is the Be Cool Scooby-Doo Baba Yaga, and they're just like the same character basically. I mean, they're both decent. I like both these episodes, fair enough. But look, I don't understand how you don't put the Swamp Witch at number 1. I mean, she's just the best one. She's very iconic. She's funny. The way she goes, Monday, Monday, Monday. At the end of the episode, kills me every time. She's by far the best witch. So this one was really weird because he basically just took my favorite and put it at the end, and that was his list. So honestly, so far, we're not agreeing a lot, but we're not disagreeing that much. We have similar lists with usually the number 1 changed. Now we have Headless Horseman characters, basically. Huh. Well, so far, this is the Haunted Horseman of Halloween from the Scooby-Doo show. He's an easy number 5. He kind of stinks. But other than that, this is really hard. Like, I'm really thinking about this. I mean, I've been dunking on Mystery Incorporated. I usually dunk on Mystery Incorporated a lot. However, as much as it pains me, I think I'll put the Headless Skateboarder at number 4. My dad's not going to be happy about that. He's going to be watching this video and screaming at me about that. But, like, this episode of Mystery Incorporated is really good. Well, this is definitely one of my least favorite Pup Named Scooby-Doo Season 1 episodes. It's a good episode, just like the Headless Horror is a better episode overall. But I'll give Headless Horror number 3. I still don't care that much in its comparison to these two. And honestly, a rare pick, I think I'll put the Headless Count at number 1. That's strange. You think the Where Are You villain would get easy number 1. And as much as I love how unique... The thing about these two, they're very unique. This design, the torso, having the face on it, really cool. However, I don't really care much about him other than his design and the fact that it's a pretty good episode. The fact that the Headless Spectre is not actually the bad guy in the episode, very unique. But the Headless Count just has no chill. I love just how he's just like... He's such a Giga Chad. I love the headless cow in that episode. So honestly, this was a very interesting list we had here. The worst one is the headless horseman of Halloween, and even that is not that bad. It's a pretty mediocre episode, but the headless characters have a pretty good record overall. Oh, okay. Fish. Now this is a ton of characters. We're gonna try to get this done quickly. There's 18, right? Because there's 6 times 3. So let's just get 18 out of the way. You're 17. I'm going to skip over to here. You're 16. You're 15. And you're 14. The Sea Demon, I actually like his design a little bit more than the rest of these guys, so I'll give him a little bit of a break. But at the end of the day, I still don't care about him. Number 15 is going to go to, 13, 18, yeah, 14, 13 is going to go to the, what are they called? They're called the Pescado Diablo, or something like that. It's from the Sonny and Cher episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies. They're just walking sharks. They're not that interesting. They're not that bad, but they're not that interesting. It's not a super great episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies, but it's yeah. Next though is both going to go to the Beast of Bottomless Lake ripoffs, the Fish Fiends and the Sea Creatures of Bribery Bay. Speaking of, where's the Beast from Bottomless Lake? I mean, the 2 people that cloned him are here, but he's not here. I guess he's a lake monster, not a sea monster. I guess we're doing sea monsters, not lake monsters, but still. Which I like better. I like this episode more, so I'm going to give these guys 12 and him 11. Speaking of liking episodes more, I really like Scooby-Doo Where's the Crew, but it's not particularly because the monsters are the best, so I may put them next. Actually, no, I'll put the Demon Shark next. That episode is it's fine. It's a fine episode, but there's so many walking shark Scooby-Doo villains, apparently. I forgot about these guys, but this one and whatever this is, and Dorsal Fin, that he doesn't stand out that much. So then I'll give the Kelp Monster number 9, and the Octopus number 8, and number 7 is going to go to the Man Crab. I don't really care about Man Crab as much as I do the other guys. Giant Crab, still a cool design, and I like how one claw is bigger than the other. It's one of the earlier episodes of Mystery Incorporated, and I tend to prefer the earlier episodes. Either way, the Man Crab's cool. And speaking of Man Crabs, no, I think I'll put Dorsal Fin at number 6. Good episode. I really like. It's actually probably my favorite Be Cool Scooby-Doo episode, next to In Space. Great episode. I think Kanyaku's a little cooler though, so I'll put Kanyaku at number 4. Moto Shandu. So number 5. Moto Shandu would be number 4. Number 3 would be the Coral Creature, because he's very unique because he's actually a real monster, and he's not actually the villain of the episode. It's like a very unique dynamic. It makes him very memorable. Plus, he's on the box art for season 3. So it makes him like a very iconic What's New villain to me. So yeah. Number 2 is going to go to one of the scariest Scooby-Doo monsters, the Creepy Heat from the Deep. That monster terrified me as a child, and honestly, it still is a very creepy monster. Not because it's like design, but the way it talks and the fact it steals your soul. Oof. Number 1 to me though is the Fin Fiend. This is, again, like the Headless Cow. This guy has no chill. The first thing he does is take a guy and plunge him under the ice and basically murder him. It's the first thing he does in the episode. That guy is so based. I love the Fin Fiend. This one's the funnest one because there's so many of them, but I think that list is pretty good. Now, as you see, we agree on a lot of the worst ones, and the top ones, a lot of the ones I liked he put up there. The only difference is the Fin Fiend was a little lower down, but overall, not bad. His opinions this time weren't that bad. Alright, aliens. Okay, first things first. There's 10. This is number 10. Surprisingly enough, though, number 9, I'm actually going to give to the Nordic alien from Mystery Incorporated. And number 8 is going to be the gray alien from Mystery Incorporated. I'm actually giving the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy show a pass for a moment, because I actually like... It's one of the few episodes in that show I remember liking. But I'll give him number 7. I'm actually going to give this one number 6, the reptile alien, because I like his face. I think it's really funny. Other than that, though, these last 5 are actually all from very good episodes. Well, number 5 is the monster alien from Bolton and Scooby-Doo. That's the only one here that's actually not that good of an episode because from season 2, but I still like it. I still like that episode quite a bit. Next, though, these are all pretty good episodes. To me, though, it's obvious. Number 4 is the Area 53 alien. It is a good episode, but compared to these other three, it just doesn't stack up as much. It is still a good villain. Funny. He's a funny villain. Has a lot of good jokes. The Coast Clear joke. That's great. Good villain. Next, though, holy crap, these three are. This is one of my favorite. Where are you? One of my favorite. Be cool, and one of my favorite. What's new villains? All in the same thing. The aliens are actually overall really good. Because even though I don't care about this guy, these guys are whatever. That's a fine episode. That's a good episode. These are all great, man. This is actually kind of hard. When it comes to episodes and villains, this good. Like I love all these guys. I have to look at the minute details. I think number 3 has to go to the alien virus. Because that is probably the second or first best Be Cool Scooter episode next to Some Fred Time. However, it's missing a chase song, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but that drags down the episode a little bit and therefore sours the villain just a little bit. But then again, like, it's such a cool. It's the thing. John Carpenter's the thing with Scooby-Doo. And this is tough. This is really okay. I'm sticking by it. I'm sticking by it. That's number and Space 8 number 2. Really cool design. I like how it's a monkey alien. It's not like it's not just like a humanoid. It's called the Space 8 for a reason. It's a monkey alien, which is really cool. And it starts off really small and it gets bigger as the episode goes on. These are really unique for a Scooby-Doo alien. And of course, number 1, Space Kook. I mean, there was really no option about that. Space Kook is one of the most iconic Scooby-Doo villains, so obviously. But holy crap, this was actually really hard. This is even harder than the headless Horseman one. Mummies. Uh, huh. You know what? 7, 6, 5, 4. We actually agree on the bottom 4 in that exact order. Because I don't care about this one the least. I remember this episode very vaguely. This one too. I remember these ones vaguely when I watched the shows. And I think I liked this guy a little more than her. I don't remember much about this one, but I remember this episode, the cat mummy, not being that bad. He's like ransacking their apartment, I think. And this is the Be Cool Scooby one. That's a pretty good episode, but the mummy's not a big reason why. But I'll still give it number 4 because I don't know. I don't actually really care. In fact, actually, this could be number 4, and this could be number 5. Next up, though, I gotta put the mummy of Friar Sarah. I think the mummy of Friar Sarah at number 3 because it's been a while since I've seen Mr. Incorporated, but I don't remember liking that episode that much. So, but like, he has a cool enough design compared to these freaks. I remember his name though. Hey, at least I remember his name. That's the mummy of Friar Sarah. I don't remember what these guys are called, so that gives you obviously the points for him right there. Number 2 is the Pharaoh Scamsies. That's a decent episode. It's got Melbourne O'Reilly in it, which is a plus. And again, it's like a freaking like weird like ape mummy. It's weird, but the mummy of Anka, come on, coin. It's by far the best mummy. I don't get these Where Are You villains are not getting as high as they should be. I mean, even if you don't, it's not your favorite show. My favorite show is the Scooby-Doo show. You know, the one with like Gatorgool and stuff, like that series. You know, we gathered all together for a brand new show. That's my favorite. But like, Where Are You has some of the best. They're getting, to be fair, I say they're getting low down, third next to my number 2 and my number 3. You know, like overall, this one's actually if you switch these two, we actually have the same exact list. So he was actually spinning with this one. Werewolves. Let me just get this out of the way. This is interesting. Here's the difficult part, right? This one here is a very good episode. Werewolf is an incredibly funny Be Cool Scooby-Doo episode, and it actually has a pretty neat like mystery. Even though the bad guy in this episode, if he actually doesn't dress up as the werewolf, he gets away with it. The werewolf only tipped off his crime. If he didn't dress up as the werewolf, he actually would have gotten away with scot-free. Anyway, regardless of that, it's a good episode. However, the werewolf itself is pretty generic. Like, these guys, even if you don't like them, they have cool designs. This is like the most generic werewolf you could ask for, so that's why I'm kind of like struggling. Do I let the quality of the episode decide if the villain's better, or just the villain itself? I kind of do a mix of both so far. But like, this time it's hard because it's a very good episode with a very generic villain. I think I'll either way put Nasty Do. Oh, it's at 4. That's to do it 4th. Uncle Nasty Do is from a mediocre episode. It's a Pup Named Scooby-Doo Season 2, but it's actually a decent episode for Season 2. Whatever, I mean, it's just a werewolf in a lab coat, you know, it's an okay episode. Man. It even still got to decide between these two. The Wolfman here and the Ghost of Silas Long the Werewolf, which is the funniest name for any Scooby-Doo villain of all time. Because that's not a super good episode, but it has a really good chase song, and I personally... Either way, getting off track here, I think I'll put Werewolf at number 3. I guess so. Silas Long at 2, and this guy at 1. If nothing else, the Wolfman's... the way he talks, the way he moves, is just too ingrained into my brain to not put him at number 1. But these two are pretty close, because this is a great design, bad episode. Great episode, mediocre design. So, you can actually put it at number 2 and number 3. They're basically interchangeable to me. Alright, next one. This one was funny. I remember seeing this and thinking it was really funny, because ranking the Mr. Hydes, which I think that's great. The funny thing about this one is this episode right here, the one with the brown hat, is the new Scooby-Doo movies where they have guest stars in 40-minute episodes. And this is the Sandy Duncan one. However, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who is a new show, the 20-minute guest star episodes. And they also got Sandy Duncan back. So they basically remade their own episode. It's actually a really cool concept. It's really neat. However, this is actually one of the few times I'll agree and say that number 3 has to go to the OG one. It's just not a very good episode. However, not Be Cool. Guess Who is not getting number 1. I don't understand on what planet the Ghost of Mr. Hyde isn't the best Hyde villain. I mean, this episode it has Recipe for My Love in it. What else can I say? Great design, hilarious episode. Just so much good. I mean, this episode actually is one of the few episodes of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who I actually actively seeked out and watched, and I thought it was pretty good. I actually did not mind that episode at all. But I mean, it's not even a competition. That's crazy. Speaking of crazy, the pirate one. This is very strange. This is the first one where there's no Scrappy Show villain, and there's no Scooby-Doo and Guess Who villain. So those are the two shows I just don't care about. These are all the shows I actually do care about. However, Halfbeard at number 2? Halfbeard at number 2? That might be the most insane take in this entire video. I can't believe that. Because Halfbeard, funnily enough, is only in half an episode. The Be Cool Scooby-Doo finale is a half episode. It's a Freddy Fazbear episode, and it's a pirate episode. It's like the 20 minutes is split between the possum episode and the pirate episode. And Halfbeard is barely in his half. He's probably only in 5 out of the 10 minutes. And he's is a generic ghost pirate who has half a face. Yeah, it's a cool design. I mean, I'm giving him number 6, obviously. I actually do like Halfbeard, though. I 100% I do like Halfbeard. For how little he's in the episode, he does leave an impression. But compare that to this guy. I call him Redbeard's Revenge because he's just the Ghost of Redbeard again. And literally, he's called the Ghost of Redbeard. He's literally the same. He's supposed to be the same character as this guy, just white. It's super lame. Which, by the way, that's why he's getting number 5. I hate that. I hate how the new Scooby-Doo movies, the ghosts are all just white. It just doesn't work really well for designs. However, The key difference between these two is he has a 10-minute episode and he has a 40-minute episode. He has 4 times more time to make an impression than Halfbeard does. And even though Halfbeard does good with his like 5 minutes of screen time, this Redbeard over here at least is in a very good episode. And when he pulls out that little skull and the ghost skull on the wall, that's really memorable. Like, I'm gonna remember that. I'm not gonna remember almost anything Halfbeard does. Because it's so stupid how he projects clearly fake ghosts on the wall, and Freddy goes, "We give up." He just gives up instantly. It's the funniest thing ever. Next? I guess Captain Pescado. It's a good episode. Scooby-Doo, Where's the Crew? As I mentioned in the Kelp Monster and the Octopus Monster. Good episode. Now, the next choice is really hard. These 3 are all really good. The problem with Iron Face is that you gotta separate Iron Face, the idea, between Iron Face, the actual villain, which sounds funny, but this image of him riding the sharks is super cool and iconic. He does it at the very beginning of the episode, and I think once later on. Most of the time, he's just on the ground going, "Urgh," and he's kind of a generic nothing villain for as iconic as Iron Face is. Like, I think Iron Face has a great design and a super cool of white riding sharks. But in the actual episode, he doesn't do anything. It's actually not a very good episode, which is crazy. Because Iron Face is iconic. Oh, old Iron Face, of course. But, see, that's what I'm saying. Do I take that into account? Compared to Boobeard, by the way, Redbeard's number 1. Let me just get that out of the way. Okay, to Boobeard, whose episode is far superior, but is kind of generic in comparison. Boobeard's got a lot of good moments, though. I'm tapping, like, they're in the chase scene, and he taps him on the line, and he goes, "Up, boo." That's really good. This is my house. Ah. Yeah, Boobeard's too. I gotta put Boobeard in there. He just has too many good moments. I'm just going through them in my head. He's more fun. Boobeard's just more fun than Iron Face. Iron Face in his episode is mediocre, but is S-tier villain design if you remove him from the context of his episode. Well, Boobeard is a B-tier villain design who is like A-tier in his episode, you know? So yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Boobeard. Redbeard is more iconic than both of them. It's really funny in his episode. He has the gay blade. He has the Ghost Pirate Stewie. It's just, so good. Redbeard's just so good. I don't know how you don't put him at number 1. This is the one we heavily disagreed on this one. That's crazy. Alright. Oh, jeez. Oh, this video is going to be so long. Alright. What is there? 18? There's 18 villains. Okay. First of all, despite the fact that there's several Scooby-Doo and Guess Who villains on my screen, I'm actually giving this one number 18, the Ozark Witch Zombie, because he's super lame, and I don't even remember what his role in the episode was. And I watched that episode not that long ago. But number 17 will go this one. And, I didn't even see this thing down here. Oh, whatever, I'll give him 16. I don't feel like erasing that. And 15 will go to this guy, because this is, again, one of the episodes of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who I actually think is pretty decent. Number 14, I think will go... This is tough. This is actually really tough. I think the Graveyard Ghoul is going 14. And that's just because I don't remember that episode very well. I remember some stuff vaguely, but if it didn't, I saw this episode more recently than I saw this episode, and I remember more stuff about this episode. However, so maybe I should put that number 14. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't care enough to fix it. That's 14. 13. I'll give 13 to the Zombie Gladiator. That's definitely not one of my favorites watching the Scooby-Doo episodes. It's kind of mediocre. Number 12, I'm giving to the Ghost Squirrel. Number 11, Team Informer, I think. Wait, I completely forgot what the Mambo Wamba guy's down here. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Hold on. I'm all over here going, oh, what am I gonna do with these guys? But I completely forgot about the Mamba Wamba guys. Because Mamba Wamba, that's a good episode. I do quite like that episode. However, what am I on? 16. So this is 15. However, these guys are pretty generic zombies. You know what? Screw it. You're getting 14. You're getting 13. She's getting 12. Because this guy is a recolor of the iconic zombie. And I do like the pink, like he's just kind of like a generic zombie. It's funny. I still like him, actually. I do like him. I actually, most of the villains on this list, besides you, and you, even this guy, I have the Colonel. I like all these villains. But he's kind of generic in comparison. But Lila, however, it's cool how she betrays her group, and she also returned for the Franken Creepy movie, so that gives her some brownie points. And the look, Master, the parchment kills me. It's a great scene. So that means you're getting number 12. No, wait, no, you're getting number 11, right? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miscount? Wait, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. So there should be 10 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What the Sigma? What did I do wrong? There's two 15s. There's two 15s. Aha, aha, aha. I see it. I see it. There's two 15s. You're my 12. There. It's fixed. I fixed it, guys. 18. You're 18. You're 17. You're 16. You're 15. You're 14. You're 13. You're 12. 11. And you're 10. Okay. That's all sorted out. Finally. Okay. I'm not dumb, I swear. You're 9, Demon Farmer. That's clear to me. You're definitely 9. I like your episode, but compared to the rest, not that much compared to them. Number 8 is gonna be between the Creepy Keeper and the San Fran Psycho. Because they're both pretty good episodes. Man, that's actually a really tough choice. I like both these guys a lot. I'd say the San Fran Psycho has a slightly more unique design, so I'll give him 7. 6 is gonna go to the regular zombie. I don't know why I thought about that so long. This out of the remaining options, definitely. Because he may be generic compared to the rest of them, but he has a legacy status. His "Here, double ugly, go buy yourself a new face" is more iconic than the Graveyard Ghoul ever has been. So, just as an example, I think that's why. Though, actually, I may actually put these guys above him. Yeah, I think I am going to. I do like him a lot, but at the end of the day, he is the bare minimum you can ask of a zombie. So that gets us to the final 5. And this gets a little tough. I think I'm going to give number 5 to the Scare Pair. They're super iconic. I love those guys. But they do share the spotlight with Zentuo, so that does take away a little bit from them. Same thing with the Faceless Zombie. However, the Gorilla only is in the second half of the episode, and plus, I think I like No Face Zombie Chase, like, maybe a little more than... maybe not. Maybe not, actually. Mystery Max Mix-Up is a great episode. I like them about equal, but I think man, it's actually really tough. These two are basically interchangeable to me. I love the No Face Zombie, and I love the Scare Pair. Number 3, fittingly enough, is going to go to the 3-headed Boogity Bones. Because I love Boogity Bones. This guy is my dad. Boogity Bones is my biological father, if you didn't know. Fun fact for you. Great episode, I love it. Surprisingly enough, given my reputation, I'm giving a Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated villain number two. Rude Boy in the Scholastic's is possibly the greatest episode of that show. Well, at least top five. It's a great episode, and their reason for being the villains is really, really funny. It is hilarious, and I love. And the song in that episode, whew, great episode. Number one's the Creeper. If you don't agree, you're wrong. Sorry, this is actually not an opinion-based thing. They put Demon Farmer and him above Creeper. That's crazy. All ghosts, not zombies. So I don't know why you're even on this list. These three are ghosts. In fact, you might be a ghost too. I'm putting you on the ghost list. We were pretty wildly different on this one. Okay. Dinosaurs! Ranking the dinosaurs! Huh. 7, 6, 5. I agree. And I think I even might agree with you being 4. It's between him and the Christmas pterodactyl. Because I think the Christmas pterodactyl might be a little better. They're both pretty generic, is the problem. Nah, I gotta put him in 4. It's too generic. It's a good episode, and it is a cool, like, the plan to pick up the Christmas tree and fly away with it is a cool idea. I just think the Mars robot dinosaur is a little cooler. Number 2, I actually agree, is Pterodactyl Ghost. For me, as iconic as Pterodactyl Ghost is, the actual episode's not very good, at least in comparison. But the Snow Beast is easy number 1. Might be one of the easiest number 1s of this whole thing. The Snow Beast is by far the best dinosaur. It's terrifying, yet really funny. Great episode. That one was easy. Easy peasy. Hey, here's our finale. The last one. Ranking the 13 ghosts. First of all, it's weird that he has Captain Ferguson in here, because I don't consider him the 13th ghost. Or a 13th ghost. I consider the Cyclone Demon from the same episode a 13th ghost. Either way, Asmodeus is number 13. That movie can poop on itself. Number 12 would be Captain Ferguson. And number 11, probably Marcella. Marcella is overshadowed by the Three Stooges witches in the episode. We are witches of the night. We're so hot we're out of sight. Dude, they're great. I love them. Number 10, though, is a lot harder. No, it's not. Zimbulu. I don't like Zimbulu that much. That episode is probably the most forgettable episode of 13 Ghosts, which is saying a lot because it's not that unmemorable of an episode. I just think Zimbulu is not a great part of why it's a good episode. Number 9, definitely going to be Queen Morbidia, because her spider pet and the Shadow Demon both are more entertaining than she is. But still, I do like her. Number 8, gotta be Rancor. I love his voice. Vincent Price is funny, but overall kind of a mid episode. Number 7, probably the Reflector Spectre. He's probably the most middle of the road villain, but I like him a lot. And Phantasmo, number 6, because I think it's creepy how the illusions work in that episode. It's a cool concept that it looks really happy, but if you see it through a certain lens, it's evil. Cool concept, and he's really entertaining. He's brainwashing Flim Flam the entire episode. Number 5 has gotta either go to Zamba or Demondo. They're really similar, because they're both annoying, but kind of in an endearing way. Though Demondo's actually just straight up annoying sometimes. And Zamba will be number 4. Just the way he speaks, I'm gonna just kill Scooby-Doo. Demondo, I like him, but the speaking can be kind of annoying. Zamba is kind of a same way, but I like Zamba a little more. Because this is the movie episode and the comic book episode. They're actually very similar. I like both of them. Number 3, we'll go to Time Slime. I think Time Slime's episode's really good. I think he has a great design. However, he's not in the episode that much, but when he's on the screen, it's very memorable. Number 2 is Easy Nikara. I think her episode's great. I think she's very likable and it's fun. But I actually love Maldo the Malevolent. He's by far my favorite 13 Ghost. I like his design. I think his episode's great. Just overall great. Honestly, I love all of these characters except for Asmodeus. Screw him. Um, but the rest of these guys I actually do. And Captain Ferguson, actually two Captain Ferguson. But the rest of these guys I really like because I think 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo is super underrated, and I like it a lot. So that's it. We did all of them. So our journey with CyberEman2099 comes to an end, and what a journey it was. Um, what's the takeaway from this episode? There is none. I felt like making this video, and I did. But at the end of the day, this video I just made for fun. I just thought it would be a fun video idea to cover some of the random stuff I found on his page, and then rank the Scooby-Doo villains like he did. I had a really fun time making it, and like I said at the beginning, give this guy all the love you can. I think the fact that he's so open about making his passions, and you can say, "Oh, it's like Scooby-Doo OCs, it's cringe." I don't care if it's cringe or not. The guy's putting it out there, and he's having a great time. So, CyberEman2099, thank you for existing, man. You're cool. I like this. This is great. Well, I see this, and I see this, and I immediately start to take back my "you're cool" comment. His name is Ethan. You know his name, guys. Wait. His name is Ethan. And my computer's glitched. I can't click on anything. Oh shoot, my computer's breaking. Jump scale. Guys, his name is Ethan. We found out. It's Cyber Ethan Man 2099. Ethan Man. The lore expands. How far does this rabbit hole go? I read like 200 of your pages and I didn't know your name was Ethan. Probably because I wasn't paying that much attention. I told you at the very beginning. An hour ago, I told you this is the stupidest video I'll ever make. And you know what? It is, but I had a great time making it. As much fun as Ethan has making his stuff. So at the end of the day, thank you for doing what you do. I respect you as much as I clowned on your opinions. And Ethan, you have bad opinions. Sorry. Right, man. I'm done. I don't. I think I've dragged this out long enough. This is Mr. Catface signing off. You guys have a great day, I guess. I don't know. Bye.